DNVR Broncos live, coming to you from Studio A here at the DNVR Bar, where the A, like it has before, stands for adios. Adios, CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Can you say goodbye if they never were here?
You followed the Broncos on Instagram. It was all
that's true.
I feel like you can say goodbye whenever you want. Just kind of weird sometimes.
So like you call someone and they answer and you're like, goodbye.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you can.
That's a sentence.
And like, if the person deserves a goodbye in your mind, you're free to say goodbye.
Boy, how confusing would that be? If you get a phone call from like someone you know, but not like not close with, but you know, and they just who it is as they're calling. You see it on the caller ID, you answer, goodbye, and they hang up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would hope that like your girlfriend or fiance wouldn't give you that call.
Oh, that is very true.
I was at the bar on Friday. I was at the bar a long time on Friday.
Whew. A lot of people were at the bar for a long time.
It was a really long time on Friday. But I had a friend who was here.
I actually saw Henry go from sober to hammered back to pretty sober.
Wow, that's how you know it's a long time.
I was wondering if I was pretty sober. But I was like, I can't trust my own judgment. Like, I didn't drive home. I forgot I left my car here the next day, but all worked out in the end. But yeah, it was a wild day. But I had a friend who just got into a residency, like medical residency, got a phone call from like the guy who runs the whole thing, important guy. He just sees Ryan on the phone and answers and says, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" And the guy's like, "Hi."
This is better than it could have been.
That is better than it could have been. He's like, "Oh yeah, it happens." But yeah, at least he didn't say goodbye.
Yeah, it's true.
I recently called someone for the first time, and they answered the phone way more friendly than that.
Wow.
Like, what's up, my brother? How you doing? I was like, what's up, man? Like, that was just the energy this dude had.
What a great way to start a phone call.
I know.
With
It was like kind of like a networking phone call.
Yeah.
Really,
Even
we
better.
Were off and running. From
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. Friday was a journey at the bar.
It was a trip at the bar.
Yes, it was.
You guys have been on a great underdog journey this weekend.
Yep. Friday was a Fairleigh Dickinson win. And just to give you an idea of how drunk everyone was in the bar, people were just chanting, "Dicks, dicks."
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I went through and was like, okay, I'm planning on drinking 2 more beers. I'm just going to put like 4 Montana State. You got to say the name for clarity. I hate saying that. And just put them in the draft so I can just hit send. But turns out I was still buzzed enough at the time when I thought that I was sober enough to be writing all those tweets for later. There's typos in them. And I was like, the next morning I saw one. I was like, should I go back and delete these 7 tweets? And I was like, it's a thing that happened. It's out there. They all have 3 likes anyway. We'll move along.
Yep. And then when we were watching the game up here, the very last game, I was like, oh, Henry's just back to normal.
And I, again, was like, I think I might be pretty sober right now, but I also was not sure at all. Like, I was just in this really confused. D-line got that pizza. I've still got pepperoni on my shoe. I haven't handled that yet.
You know what we call that from Henry? Roller coaster Hank.
Yes,
that was a roller coaster.
On a roller coaster.
It was a roller
That was
coaster.
a clutch pizza by Eric. By the
That
way.
was such a good pizza.
Okay, so back to the thing. First of all, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, who has made us lots of money this weekend. We appreciate them for that. As always, use the code DNVR when you get over there. Also, goodbye to the dream of CJ GJ. I don't know if you saw my tweet last night, but I moved on very quickly. I was just like, bad Jokic takes, end up in Detroit, cold world, see ya.
I did. That was a good one.
He gave you that. It was easy. It was an easy letdown once he gave you that.
That tweet was close to reaching Lions Twitter. Ooh. And I was like, please not tonight. Just not in the mood for this. Like,
Even after your weekend?
Yeah, but I just got like 3 messages, like 3 responses from Lions fans, and I was like, no, I don't want to deal with angry people for the whole rest of the night. And then it died off. I was like, thank God.
Good. But I'm sure Broncos Country liked it.
Yes.
Well, Nuggets
and
as well.
Nuggets Nation.
Yeah.
What's the best thing about Detroit?
Eminem. Dan Campbell. Right now.
I can't say. I don't want to speak on Detroit because I haven't been there. I just know that Denver's better than
the pizza.
Yes.
The Detroit, the pan pizza. Yeah, that's a good pizza.
We've got Bojo's here.
Detroit has better pizza. No offense, Bojo's. They do have something.
So anyways, he signs with the Lions on a deal that I believe everyone in the NFL should have made.
I agree.
Yeah.
I said last week I'd have been willing to go 1 year, $12 million on a prove it year deal because I thought it was going to be a prove it deal. Instead, it's 1 year, $8 million prove it deal.
Yeah. And it's a weird one where I realized after I saw numbers, I was like, how is this happening? How could this possibly happen? I was like, I didn't really actually watch him play at all this season, except for like the interceptions and in the Super Bowl. So again, I'm not sure that I even trust my opinions about it. So I was like, I got to pull up PFF and see what PFF says. And it's like, 65 grade this season. And in his defense, like second half of the season, way better. First half, you're just like, oh, there's a couple grades in the 40s in there. We also don't really trust PFF, but I was like, is he just not as good as people think? And I still don't have the answer because I also didn't go back and actually watch him play football.
You probably watch more than either of us.
Yeah, I mean, I loved him.
Okay.
I just love, like, as much as I love K-Jack being a dog, which he really was, and he brought a level to the defense that no one else did. CJ had that, and then he could also cover people.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about him so much. Just one of those guys that I feel like when you put him on your defense, it just transforms the entire attitude of the defense. With that being said, I did not know this, but I saw a clip that hit Twitter last night of, gosh, I wish I could remember the guy's name, a football coach talking about CJ and why he was still out on the market. And I didn't realize there was like some off the field concerns with him. So he didn't go into detail. So I don't know exactly what he was talking about. But he was like, he was a first round talent that went in the third round because of off the field stuff. He was a guy who's played like a first round talent ever since he's gotten the league and still didn't get a big contract last year because of off the field stuff. So he was basically just like, I have no concerns about him on the field. I just hope he gets everything straightened out off. So
Interesting.
I did not know that until after the Lions had already signed him. And I still don't really know what he was necessarily referencing there, but it would at least make some of this stuff make sense.
Not surprising at all. Yeah, because or else it doesn't make sense. A guy that led the league in interceptions, it was a first-round talent, played like a first-round talent, and the long-term deal. Did you guys see the drama of CJ kind of clapping back at some reports on Twitter yesterday, and then he deleted it, and then his management team giving the details of what happened between him and the Eagles and other teams. They said that, so there was a report that it was a multi-year deal offered by the Eagles at first. He declined it. Then they moved in a direction. He came in and said like
that was an aggressive report.
It was an aggressive report. And so he said like cap or something on it and then deleted it. And then his management team responded and said, well, what would you rather have for your client? A 1-year, $8 million deal fully guaranteed, or a 3-year deal from the Eagles, which is reportedly, they're saying, well, the first offer was 3 years, like $17 million guaranteed, 24 total, so $8 million a year. And they said, like, it's obvious to us, we'd rather have the 1-year, $8 million deal. But if he's getting the most offer at $8 million for a long-term deal, there's a big disconnect between what he thinks and what the NFL thinks.
Well, and I'm pretty sure there was another report that came out and said it was 12.
A year?
A year.
Oh.
I think that one didn't put the number of years, just said multi-year, $12 million a year. Again, we don't know specifically, but this is the kind of thing that happens to the guys who don't get picked up. All of a sudden, nobody realized the money to blow, including the Eagles, who were like, no, we'll just give $20 million a year to Slay. Now, would they rather they could have CJ and another $12 million or whatever to spend? Potentially, but that's just how the chips fell. It is a weird thing. And also, with CJ, again, I have no idea what the off-the-field stuff is, but there is also the fact that you hear him a lot on Twitter. He has demanded a trade. He's been unhappy with his position.
That's true.
Like, there are a lot of those things. And that was the other thing that crossed my mind last night, which is like, it does seem like at some point he would do something that pisses a lot of people off. And again, that's just part of his nature, and it's probably also why he's kind of an asshole on the field.
Right.
Somebody pointing out the Tom Brady stuff. You know, he's a hitter, he's a dog. That's not necessarily a bad quality to have in a defensive player.
No,
what happened with Tom
not
Brady?
At all.
I don't remember it.
He taunted Tom Brady.
That's awesome.
It's sick, yeah.
Yeah, I just hate the way that this always happens, where every deal that goes down, I'm just like, why didn't the Broncos do that?
Yeah.
The other one was Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, if you want to change up the wide receiver room, why didn't you make that deal for Brandon Cooks?
Right. A fifth.
Yeah. And I feel like that's like a simpleton way of looking at things, but I just can't help myself. Every time a deal gets made, I'm like, Broncos could have done that. Why didn't they do that?
Well, and I think it's good. You feel that because everyone feels it, and I think that's how Broncos fans felt with that. I don't know anyone who wouldn't have done 1 year, $8 million for CJ.
Yeah.
That's what you would think.
Yeah, it is what you would think.
But for whatever reason, the market wasn't out there for him.
Yep.
And so we move on.
So a lot of people.
Caden Stearns gets to tweet about it, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying this is a great start of the week for Caden Stearns.
By the way, Jerry Jeudy still not tweeting. Good job.
Yeah, he's held strong.
There was one.
He did tweet, I could turn you into a hater or a motivator. Yeah. It's all on how you take it. Fair play.
So that's just, is that a cryptic tweet? It has to be, right?
I mean, I didn't understand it. If that's what it means.
It perfectly fits into the matrix of how each position tweets. Have you seen that tweet?
No.
Oh man, I wish I could find that really quickly. But
so it's a tweet about how people tweet.
It's like quarterback, like all glory to God. Like running back.
That's spot on.
Yeah,
exactly.
like running back is like, man, I love my teammates in my offensive line. And then it's like wide receiver, the enemy, what is it? The enemy speaks kindly but carries a knife.
Exactly.
That's perfect then.
And I did decode it last night. He means like he could turn somebody who's talking shit about him into either a hater or motivate. He can look at him and be like, oh, that guy's a hater. He could be like, oh, that's my motivation.
Motivates me.
So it doesn't have anything to do with trade rumors.
I
guess
well,
it
depends
be.
on if it's George Payton.
The hater being George Paton. You're right.
Or he seems to be choosing motivator, which is, again, a sign of growth at the very least.
Very true. It's very true. So props to Jerry Jeudy, keeping it strong.
But there isn't one for, here it is. Typical quarterback tweet. I love my teammates. God is good. RB tweet. Keep grinding. Wide receiver tweet. The enemy speaks kindly and holds a knife. Caden Stearns, I don't know how safeties tweet, but he is having a heyday with this whole situation.
Has he's been active since the last time we talked?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
So he originally, when did this all start? 5 days ago.
A lot of emojis I'm seeing.
6 days ago, the CJ GJ rumors kind of peaked, you know? And Caden Stearns said, some of the disrespect is laughable. Guess I'll show y'all since y'all forgot.
Yep. Look at football fans famously have short memories. That's fair. I think, that's how it goes. You played well in September. That's just not something that registers at this point.
So
same thing with Cortland Sutton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was sick in September. 5 weeks in, on pace for 1,400 yards. Nobody remembers.
No.
Also,
As they shouldn't.
Then Caden had some nice congratulatory tweets for his teammates and former teammates getting paid. And then 15 hours ago, after CJ GJ signs with the Lions, he tweeted, keep that same energy. Still love you guys, though. Crying face.
So fans? Is that who he's talking to?
Yes.
Could be us in particular.
It could be.
Potentially. I mean,
could be.
We were driving the hype train there for a minute.
Here's the thing. I just don't. I get, I think it would be so different if you're in that person's shoes.
Of course.
But, you can't be mad at the fans for wanting the player who led the league in interceptions last year.
Yeah. And, I mean, let's just start about 10 steps ahead of that or before that. A guy who was a starter, who's been a starter his entire career.
Yes.
No disrespect. I just looked up the stats, which are the facts. Caden Stearns has started 5 games in 2 years. How many games has CJ Gardner-Johnson started? Probably every single one he's played in.
Yeah, I mean, 16 times 4-ish.
He was a nickel, though.
Oh,
so you wonder if somebody comes out heavy to start.
Either way.
Played a lot more.
Dozens of starts.
And I mean, I think I've said it every time I talk about Caden. He's one of the most efficient players on the Broncos team the past 2 years. But still, you're talking about like a 20% sample size compared to someone that start and played nearly every single play on defense. So that's no disrespect.
But I mean, football players famously need chips on their shoulder or seek out chips on their shoulder. This is one for him. Yep. He clearly felt, okay, KJ's time is up, my time is now.
Yeah.
And then just seeing everyone fawn over getting someone else. Obviously, if you're looking for chips on your shoulder, that's a perfect way to be like, oh, I'll show you guys. I'll lead the league in interceptions next year. And obviously, every last one of us will be rooting for him.
Yep, of course.
Sell some jerseys. Also, he was 18th in snaps on the defensive side of the ball for the Broncos in each of the last 2 seasons.
It's not a lot.
Just for
That's
perspective.
consistent, right?
It is weird in his own weird way.
He also had 2 picks in a preseason game, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's shown flashes.
No,
for sure.
he looks sick. There's
And
a
he's
reason a lot of
fast
people
as
want him
hell.
to start over Kareem this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so fast.
He's very fast. Yeah, I do wonder because he uses a free safety in college. Again, like Vic Fangio, there isn't. You basically just have 2 safeties. They aren't free safety, strong
Roll
safety.
one down, roll one
exactly.
back.
So I do wonder like where he fits in as a strong safety. He can. I think he'll be just fine. But it's something to watch.
I certainly think Caden was on Twitter mostly talking to fans and maybe media as well,
Yep.
us. But there was a report that the Broncos were interested in
Yeah.
CJ Gardner-Johnson, so I think he could also be talking to the Broncos as well.
Yeah, like I said, we all want you to make us say, "Can't believe we wanted CJ Gardner-Johnson. Look how amazing Caden Stearns is."
Yeah.
How sick would this defense be with CJ Gardner-Johnson coming off the bench?
Yeah.
Oh,
Best dime player in the NFL.
I like that. But there are some other guys still out there for the Broncos. And let's dive into who our number 1 player is that the Broncos should sign. We're going to do a fun draft. First, I got to tell you about the weekend. Someone said, is Zach recovering from the weekend? You can continue the weekend into Monday if you need to. And
It's a weed
how
day.
you do that, weed day. It can just continue. And you do that over at Jive Hive. Scan the QR code on the screen, or you go to jivehive.com. That's JIVEHYVE.com. And what they're going to do is not only deliver weed straight to where you are, but they're also going to do it at a more affordable price because they don't have stores that they have to pay the overhead for. So it's cheaper, it's more convenient, you have privacy and security with it. It's win, win, win. And they continue to expand to the areas that they deliver to. Right now, they're serving Aurora, Greenwood Village, Monument, Fountain, and various areas of El Paso County. But like I said, they continue to grow. So check out their website, even if you're not in one of their areas, to see if they've expanded to you. That's jivehive.com.
Taking us back to the good old days when no one who sold weed had a storefront.
Wow, you're right. This time,
The good old days.
legal.
Legally, though.
Wow. Also, Breckenridge Brewery. If you want to go see the Nuggets, which you absolutely should, you've got like 2 or 3 days left to get in on the ultimate fan experience. You can see the QR code below me.
So many QR codes.
Yes. Also, weird thing about QR codes. So we have QR codes for menus downstairs.
I love QR codes.
Oh, yeah, they're the best.
I was super into them in the past. I'm getting a little annoyed. I'm just gotta be honest. But we have the QR codes down there. We also have like those little, it's like, oh, the ketchup's in this little box and the Tabasco's in the box. But the box was covering part of the QR
We call it
code.
a basket.
The basket, cool. Basket was partially covering the QR code. QR code's still scanned.
Whoa.
Yeah, there
So
was.
how are you annoyed by that?
Oh no, I'm annoyed by QR codes in general. That experience was just really interesting.
That's
So I was like,
impressive.
why do you even include this last 10%
Right.
of dots over here if you don't even need it?
I absolutely love when a restaurant gives you the receipt with a QR
Oh,
code.
That is
it's
the best.
And you just scan
Yeah.
and Apple
Oh,
Pay your
yeah.
thing and just
Yeah.
leave.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is nice.
incredible.
We had that after Mr. Goodell took a picture with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After
Surprised he
he
didn't pick up our
joined
bill.
in our picture.
Yes. Uninvited.
Yes.
But if you love the Nuggets or you love QR codes, scan that QR code right there, and you can get entered to win 2 courtside row 2 tickets to go see the Nuggets play the New Orleans Pelicans. Game's March 30th, drawings the week before. You're running out of time
Drawing
to
is
sign up.
this week.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, just a
This
few
week.
days away. Depending, Wednesday, Thursday?
I don't
think
know.
it's
I
the
was just
23rd,
told it's happening this week.
Coming close
Okay.
to the weekend.
Yeah.
is when
Yeah,
it
so
is.
close to the weekend. Make sure that you're in on this. Breckbrew.com. No. TheDNVR.com/BreckSweeps, or just scan that QR code and you can get entered.
Boom.
Scan it.
There it is. So, really quick, before we get into the free agents, would CJ GJ have been your number 1 free agent if he still hadn't signed?
Yes.
Henry?
I think he'd have to be. It's just one of those things where now, after he signs for $8 million, I've gotten in my own head about him potentially not being that good, which I know is wrong. He would, yes,
It's
he would have
natural.
been number 1.
It's natural
I
for
know.
that.
For some reason, he did not get a big deal. And it's probably positional value. Maybe people think that, the odds of him replicating the 6 interceptions are slim. Like, some of that is flukiness, and that's kind of like the marquee CJ GJ stat. But yeah, he probably would have been number 1 on my list.
Man, you guys are wrong again.
No, that's
Wow.
a shame.
Forgot about Lamar Jackson. I'm kidding. No one's offered him.
It kind of makes me sick.
Yeah, it is wild how an MVP quarterback's on the market and there's been just no talk about it for a week.
Yeah.
Is Spot Rack down?
Oh, no.
It took mine forever to load.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Just wait for it to load.
I'm now trying to load a new page, and it's...
I will make a serious argument for one other person, and that is for this defense specifically, for this team, and that's Bobby Wagner. Still out there. We talked about him.
People hate this take. I kind of like it.
Do they?
Yeah.
About wanting Bobby Wagner?
Yeah. The thing is, like, Twitter kind of only thinks in absolute, so it's just like all linebackers are bad.
Yeah.
All running backs are bad.
Of course.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Josie? Well, no. If you picked up Bobby Wagner, Josie would be gone. But if Spot Rack says that, or was it PFF said that Bobby Wagner was 1 year, $6.5 million, that was his value last week. He's still on the market this week. Value maybe has gone down a little bit. Josie Jewell, what? I think it's $5 million that the Broncos could save if they move on from him. 6. You could essentially sign Bobby Wagner for the price that you would save on Josie Jewell, which is just crazy. Now, I don't think this is the route the Broncos are going to go down. Bobby Wagner, he wants to go to a winning team. The Broncos could be that this year, but if you're Bobby, aren't you going to a team that could be a winning team, is a winning team? So I don't think this is going to happen. But in terms of like top names on defense, I think CJ GJ was up there, Bobby Wagner was there, and then you kind of get into depth, which I think we're going to talk about today. But there's still some other top names out there.
Frank Clark?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Yannick Ngakoue.
Yep. You've been on that train for a while.
I mean, his worst season, he just has a crazy career. Like, the worst season of his career is 8 sacks.
Well,
Every year he gives you
up.
more than that. And like what, he didn't finish out his rookie contract, or I think he did, then gets a 5th-year option, gets traded before that, gets traded after the season, gets traded again. Somehow he just keeps getting traded, and somehow he keeps winding up with 8 to 10 sacks every single season. Like, especially at this point, if you're paying him $8 million, like, sure, just come take some free sacks.
For some reason, my Spot Rack tracker was filtered for only defensive line. And I was just looking at what I thought was the list of all free agents. And I was like, wow, there's an insane run on defensive line. Like, why is there no one want defensive line?
No one wants to stop the run game at all. But so with Giannis Ngakoue, 8 sacks is or Yannick Ngakoue, sorry.
Wow.
Where is he from? Just need to put that and then freak. Giannis
Oh,
Ngakoue.
yeah, it's very true. Guess the okay, so 8 sacks. That's the fewest he's had. That would be the most that a person on the Broncos has had in the past 3 seasons. Tied with who? Guess who that would be tied with? One person
Malik
has
Reed?
had 8 sacks. Malik
Damn.
Reed.
What a pull.
So I mean, if you're
Malik
talking
Reed's
about
out there, you gotta go get him.
if you're guaranteed, he actually just signed with
Steeler? No, that's where he was.
yeah, he signed with someone.
Oh, he's back with Dolphins.
yes,
he's with Fangio,
Yes,
yeah.
he's back with Vic. The Von Miller also had 8 sacks 4 years ago. So I mean, that just shows you if Ngakoue's out there, 8 sacks, you're pretty much guaranteed that. That would be incredible for what your team has or hasn't been able to do. So that value, Hank, I'm right there with you. That'd be a great signing. And what's his value? What was it at the start of free agency?
I'm not sure. I think it was like 9 though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably
right
right
around
around
there.
one a sack.
Yep.
The last person to have more than 8 sacks in a single season for the Broncos, Von Miller and Bradley Chubb did it in 2018.
Wow.
5 years.
And maybe the better option is to go get Justin Houston, because he had 9.5 sacks last year. He's 34, and sure, like you'd expect to drop off in production, especially compared to Yannick Ngakoue, who's kind of crazy. He hasn't just gotten a multi-year deal for a lot of money at this point. But the idea that he could come in, only play on third downs, allow some of your younger guys to keep playing, and let Baron Browning have a good season, try to break out, but then also maybe teach them a thing or two. You know, sometimes it's good, especially for outside linebackers, especially for pass rushers, to have somebody who can say like, hey, here's what I would have done here, or look at this move, or look at that. I think combining that really young room with Justin Houston, especially when he's probably cheaper than Yannick Ngakoue, could be a good idea.
Giannis Ngakoue, the
Giannis
DC freak.
The
DC freak. That also kind of sounds like the part of the DC comic books, and you know he could be a character in that.
He
That's
could.
true. There's a lot of like interesting names out here.
There are.
That have my attention, like a Shaquille Griffin. But then at the same time, it's like, does he fit the man scheme?
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's just been horrible recently. Like, he was good early in his career, but then, like, he can't stop a pass recently. But that's why he'd be cheap, and that's why he'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Because you're not bringing him in to start over Damari unless things really change.
Someone's
Bradley
asking
Roby.
about if Michael O.J. Moody is finally healthy.
God.
I
Oh
think
my
so,
goodness.
but he is no longer a Bronco, so...
I just had deja vu to my dream last night, which I hadn't even...
Michael O.J. Moody?
Wow.
No. Well, sort of, actually. So you know how the Buffs are doing that you have to earn your number thing?
Yes, love it.
The Broncos were doing the same thing, and I had totally forgotten about this. We were on the sideline at Broncos practice. It was a training camp practice. Some of them had numbers, and Randy Gregory was wearing number 13.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that.
it was bad.
And you're like, damn, OJ's grown a lot.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's what they said. OJ. I was like, oh yeah, number. I was like, oh shit, that just reminded me of my dream, which I had totally forgotten about. But everybody was just wearing these crazy numbers. I was trying to figure out who's who. Ooh.
Did you watch the video, the full video of Coach Prime talking to the team about that?
Yeah.
Legitimately hilarious moment. So he's going through all these things about why, like, defensive linemen can never wear a single digit for me. That's just dumb. You can't, like, how could you wear number 1 if you're not the one? Which I love that line. And then finally he goes like, nobody's wearing 0 on this team. Like, 0 means nothing. Why would you ever want to be nothing? No one can be 0. And then he's like, so here's how it's gonna work. You stand up. What number would you want to wear? And the kid literally goes, 0. I was like, dude, how could he be that dumb?
Did he lose it?
He just goes, well, that's not happening. You're a bad example. What number do you want?
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
man. You can't like that, can you?
No, I love it.
Oh, I feel like you would love a defensive lineman wearing 1 though.
So I do like that, but what I really like is just the idea that the player, not 1, but that the players have to earn their numbers.
Okay.
Like, I can see
So
a
what
defensive
does that
lineman
mean?
wearing
What does that
8.
mean?
That works for me.
All
that
the
mean they have
jerseys
to
are
earn it?
blank right now.
Okay.
So if you want a number, you have to practice well, play well.
Yeah.
And then your coach has each coach has the right to say, like, okay, he's done it. He's earned it. He can have this.
And then
I
the
also love
player
how he
gets to
said,
choose.
I can think this is funny. Other people can get mad at it, but he's just like, there's 7 single-digit numbers available. 0 isn't happening, and 2 is taken.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Everybody's earning their number, except my son.
Except my son.
He already earned it by
Yeah.
just being a baller.
That is so funny. And practice started yesterday, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
And I believe, to relate this back to Broncos, practice starts for them in 3 weeks for the
Wow,
Broncos.
That's pretty close.
Kinda
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
kind of crazy.
Yeah. We'll see him on opening day, though.
It
Will be
was-
the first time we get to see
I
him.
actually loved it, but it was weird, like having football interfere with my weekend yesterday.
Yeah.
Like going out to Bowler, I was like, wow, already? We're doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were impressed.
I was. Shador was awesome.
By number 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah, even though he hasn't earned his number yet.
I mean, to be fair, he doesn't have it on his jersey.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Speaking of people that now live in Colorado or that have lived in Colorado, what about Calais Campbell?
Yes.
That's
I mean,
another one, yeah.
I wanted this so bad as what I thought was an older defensive lineman in 2017.
Yeah, so
2017, I was like, man, he'll have a couple more years and he can finish his career out in Denver. Okay, now I think he has a couple more years and he can finish out his career in Denver. The Ravens moved on from him last week to free up some money. They said they're still open to bringing him back. But, I mean, Calais Campbell, not only still a good football player, but a perfect person to have in not just the defensive line room, but just in the entire organization. My guess is, especially there's going to be interest, so you're probably actually not going to get him for super cheap. I still think it'd be worth it. I wanted it in 2017, and I want it now.
That'd be so sick. He'd be so sick. And it'd be kind of a luxury. Like when you, more often than not, you're playing with 4, I guess, down linemen, but 2 of them are going to be your outside linebackers.
Yeah.
Like most of the time in nickel, dime, whatever. And that would mean you already have DJ Jones and Zach Allen for the interior. Getting Calais Campbell, though, like, it would be an incredible luxury.
Yeah.
Because then when you're in base, then he'd be in your starting lineup on the field. You rotate so much that guys need snaps off anyway. I'm not sure what DJ Jones was at, but I'm pretty sure Zach Allen played about 80% of snaps last year. So give the other 20 to Calais Campbell. DJ Jones, give that 20 to Calais Campbell. Whatever else is left over, you break up among everybody else. Like, there are enough snaps to go around. I just wonder if he'd be willing to accept not being the guy. You would think at 36 he would be, but maybe somebody's coming at him and saying, like, hey, it's me, the Eagles. We lost.
Jeez, Calais Campbell and Fletcher Cox in the middle.
Exactly. Like, oh, be our new Javon Hargrave. You'd be like, oh, okay.
This guy.
Do people understand how big Calais Campbell is?
My
I don't think
gosh,
so.
he's a monster.
He's 6'8", over 300 pounds.
Yep.
It's insane.
Like, normally, the only way that works in the NFL is if you're a tackle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And he is just a freak on the inside. I also was just like, again, I've been talking about how Sean Payton has just made the Broncos bigger and bigger.
Yep.
I just want another addition to that.
Oh yeah, big
Yep.
time, and a winner. He's used to being in a winning culture, which Sean has gone after guys this past week for that. Henry, I don't think he's gonna be a rotation piece though, and so I'm not sure. Well,
Yeah.
couldn't he just be your starter alongside on the opposite side of Zach Allen?
Yeah, I mean, if you start in a 3-4, then he definitely is.
Yeah.
But more often than not, like most of your starts, the other team's coming out nickel, and in that case, you have Randy Gregory on one edge, Baron Browning on the other. Then you look at as DJ Jones and Draymond Jones, Zach Allen.
Man,
Could you justify saying like, oh, Baron, you're off the field. We're bumping Zach Allen out to the edge.
Yes.
Since it's not a clear passing situation, we're not too worried about losing the pass rush there. Like you could make it work, but again, it'd be more of like
It's luxurious.
yeah.
and it certainly would be, especially with, I think he's going to have a market, so you're not going to be getting him for
Yeah.
like a vet min.
Pretty
It is
is.
pretty late. I have to, I mean, what? I'm thinking like 2 years, $10 million, $5 million
thinking 1 for
guaranteed.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. He's just a guy that started every single game in his career. 36 years old last year. He had 5.5 sacks. I mean, so the production is still there.
Yep.
That's what Draymond Jones did. And
Yeah,
there's
Who
a
just
real
got
chance.
17 million.
Exactly. You might just replace Draymond Jones with Calais Campbell,
Oh.
and there you go. It cancels out. Totally cancels
In a
out.
heartbeat.
And guess what? You got Zach Allen too.
Yep.
It would be
Go
fun.
on it.
This is something that
And then
also
just go
makes
get the other Denver South grad, Philip Lindsay.
Oh, there we go.
Homecoming.
This one makes sense too, because what has Sean Payton done in the first week of free agency? He's built in the trenches
Yeah.
on the defensive side, on the offensive side. So just add another piece there.
But I mean, you could also say Rodney Hudson's out there. Connor
Yep.
McGovern would be a nice addition coming back. Ben Jones, like Justin Britt is still out there too. I mean, there's starting centers that you could go add.
So
also.
did Rodney Hudson not retire?
So he's
'Cause it was
listed as a
believed,
free
like,
agent.
initially he was going to retire, but by the way, like the Cardinals cut him.
Yeah, it was like something like where he took a pay cut and then
Yeah,
was cut.
yeah,
And they're like, oh, this usually signals
Right.
a retirement.
And he's never retired. He hasn't announced
No, there's
retirement
been
since.
no
So
announcement.
I mean, Rodney Hudson, I think he only played 2 games last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I didn't
you
realize
do
that
factor
Cardinals
in-
fans did not like him.
Really?
Yep.
He didn't do much there, did he?
It was something along the lines of like I think it was like a Johnny Venerable tweet that was just like Steve Keim's like strategy of bringing in old players has been up and down, but Rodney Hudson was one where it failed or something like that.
yeah. I mean, if you only played 2 games.
Yeah.
I think he was there for a few years.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
the Raider. I think he was like going to retire when the Raiders released him, and then it was the same thing. Then he went to the Cardinals. So if you
Maybe
sign,
he threatens to retire if they don't cut him.
right. If you sign Rodney Hudson, just expect an injured player. But I mean, in terms of a
Yeah.
vet in the room, I would like it. You mentioned Connor McGovern. It would be nice not to have.
Matt Paradis is available.
Yeah, Matt Paradis is another one. I would like the Broncos to sign one of these veteran guys, understanding that maybe it's not a great signing, but at least you're not desperate going into that first pick in the 3rd round or one of your picks in the 3rd round saying, we have to get a center here.
Yeah. That would just be a not fun situation. I mean, and there's a chance they look at the situation and say, hey, Luke Wattenberg, he really struggled when he was on the field. They really can't deny that part.
Ask Dalton Reisner about.
Oof.
Remember when he ran over mid-game and like showed him how to block after he gave up a sack?
Oh, dude, he was so small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Cost.
Yeah.
So, but maybe they look at it and say like, okay, he seemed to figure some things out in practice. We think in year 2 he can at least compete or be
The
serviceable.
only reason he was drafted is because they were like, oh, he has the agility to get to the second level in his own blocking scheme.
All right.
Yikes. But so maybe they see him as not so bad. Maybe they see Lloyd as somebody who's like, sure, he might get pushed a little bit, but he doesn't let guys by him in pass protection. We can get by. If those are our two centers, we can make it work. More likely, though, it does seem like they'll say, oh, we didn't get a center. We should definitely get one in the third round. And that means you're just sitting there for 2 rounds saying, please don't start the Ron centers. Please don't start the Ron centers. Please don't. Or you're overpaying, maybe not overpaying, but you're paying to trade up because you can't risk that.
Right.
And you wind up losing a 4th round draft pick instead of just a 3rd that you would have spent because you have to make sure you get one. So it would be nice to not have to deal with that.
And I'm happy we talked about center because that's what the chat's saying.
And we haven't even talked about my favorite free agent available.
Ooh.
Who is a center?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Ben Jones.
He's still out there, isn't he?
Yep.
I mean, that would be the home run.
I mean, he's coming off a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Again, I can't say I sat here and watched a lot of Ben Jones. He was low on the list, but I see Pro Bowl and think, must be pretty good.
Did they, just like Trevor Siemian in 2016, might I remind you, did Ben Jones just get released for purely cap purposes? And like the team is clearly going in more of a rebuilding mode?
I think so. And I think they saved like $7-8 million.
It's a lot for a center.
It is.
To save.
It
yeah.
is. But it is one of those things where, like, if you save $4 million and you're moving on from him, you say, wait a minute. That guy wasn't worth $4 million to you. Once you get up to that range, it's like, okay, I get it. Yeah. Also, I think there was a failed physical designation with him too. So I don't know what the injury situation is.
I mean, he played 12 games last year. Impressive to be a Pro Bowler, only playing 12 games.
He must be really good.
He'd be entering his year 34. He'd be 34 years old this coming season. So a vet in the room. I mean, when then you go draft someone, or you think that Wattenberg can develop behind him. I love the idea of going after even a vet, an older player at this position.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
No, you just said what you said about Luke Wattenberg.
You laughed at.
Yes.
Concussions.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna say, I wonder if he still wants to play.
I mean, he probably should.
Yep. Would agree with that. One more guy. Speaking along the kind of affordable routes. What about Shelby Harris? Is it, has the time passed on him, or is it, I think you're bringing him back for vet min, $2 million a year or something?
Sign me up so quick.
Yeah.
I would love it too.
If you can get him for the minimum.
Yeah.
I'm just dreaming of the ability you have to knock down passes at the line on 3rd down. Barron on one side, Randy on the other side. Bring Zach Allen and Shelby up the middle and get their hands up.
Yep.
What do you call it?
You're taking out like the entire middle of the field.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's the nickname? The Great Wall of
Denver.
Of Denver? Yeah.
The Great Wall of Denver. Wow.
I think the Great Wall is problematic.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay.
Great Wall Chinese, very good place.
Oh, like a restaurant.
Yeah, if anybody's yes, the restaurant. Yeah.
Oh man, that's Chinese food sounds so good right now.
And the thing about it always does. The thing about vet min is that costs like $150K.
Chinatown
the cap.
Bistro right down the street from here.
Oh my
slaps.
gosh.
The baddies.
Oh, there we go. Well, but then what do you do? What do you do with your running back on the team?
That's Beatty.
Beatty. Okay, yeah.
Wow. Could he be an honorary baddie? Got to make the roster first.
Yeah, I guess that's key.
The baddies.
The bat. I like it. The little double meaning.
Shelby Harris would be sick. I mean, again, because we talk about losing Deshaun Williams.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah. I mean, it's rough. He gave you 4.5 sacks. He got so much better last year. You probably get 1-for-1 replacement of Shelby.
Hopefully Shelby's not mad at me, because when the Broncos traded all the people they traded for Russ, I tweeted out the gif of like me reacting to who the Broncos traded, and it was just like, oh no. Anyway,
Did you see it?
Turned out to be a bad take.
Yep.
But a bunch of people snitch tagged him.
Of course.
What are we doing?
Of course. What? Wait. Was Shelby the one last year that was upset that someone was wearing his number? I think it was him. Yeah. Who is it?
Any.
Oh, do you think he would come and take it?
I mean, he's fine with me if he does.
Give him number 2. Two's available.
They should take the numbers
No,
off.
That's Pat. Oh
Take
my
the
God.
numbers
What
off.
are you talking about?
Take the numbers off their jersey and let him earn it.
Who would be the
Wow.
first person to earn it on the team outside of Pat Surtain?
Damn, last year would have been Russ in a heartbeat.
It would have been.
If Hackett was back, it'd be Russ in a heartbeat still.
yeah.
Russ might be the last one with a number now.
Jerry Jeudy would be second to earn his number.
Yeah, it'd probably be
The
Pat.
second.
Yeah.
True.
So the thing is, I mean, if you're doing it like training camp style, there's no pads for the first few days. That's when it would be rough.
It wouldn't be Jerry. They're potentially going to trade Jerry. This is coming from the coaches.
I'm just saying it's about being earned.
Exactly.
Who's going to look the best on the practice
Exactly.
field?
Especially if you're not in
I
pad.
know, Justin would be,
Yep.
Yeah.
Here.
Also, no one wants 31, so he's good.
The thing is, otherwise I'd say like it's the first one of those linemen who like hits
Yeah.
somebody either side of the
Yeah.
ball. Thing is, if it's kind of non-contact for a couple days, that gives everybody else the advantage.
I think it would be someone that they just brought in.
Wow.
A Sean Payton guy.
You think it's going to be super political?
Yeah, of course.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's political.
Exactly.
I don't.
I was going to say, did you just hear what?
That's like the no, but again, that's Dion, who is the opposite of Sean Payton. Like that is the most like flash and vibes, and like again, this is Bill Parcells like earn everything, otherwise you're on the bench. Like he wouldn't be afraid to sit
Did Dion
anybody.
play under Bill Parcells?
And Sean Payton? No, they would have been separated a little bit.
Yeah. So maybe this is something we're going to see in a couple of weeks.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I
Wow.
love it. I would take everyone's numbers away.
I mean, it's like it's the same thing. Like Ohio State, do they do it? No, they have the
They
little
do the
things that you
number
put
stickers.
on. I feel like there's a lot of teams. I think even Montana doesn't give them like the helmet decal. That's like the more common way to do it.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta earn. Yeah,
Earn your stripes.
this is like I don't know. It's just an old school football thing.
How telling would it be if Tim Patrick got his number before Cortland started?
Oh, I think Tim would be probably the first one to earn it.
Also, again,
the
no
receiver
one wants
room.
81.
Really, that's like a big time receiver number. It's
Not
88
really.
and 81 are the two big receiver
Who's the
numbers.
best?
88's a
And
big one.
things are changing now.
Who's the best receiver to wear 81? Calvin Johnson? Did he wear 81?
Yeah, so
a
the
good
best, arguably best receiver ever. I mean,
No,
I guess
I was
it's
just
no, there's him. I mean,
talking through my thoughts.
you look at like Terrell Owens. You look at
Yep.
did Randy Moss at some point? Was he?
But
He was 81 with the
all
Pats.
wide receivers want low numbers now.
It is
Yeah.
different
thing.
now.
Yeah, that is the.
It is different now.
Credit to Justin Simmons for making 31 seem like okay.
Yeah, now that's
That's
like
a solid number.
Because when
now
you
you've
see
got
it on.
Byard, Jesse Bates also
I think
31.
it's a good safety number.
Wow.
Not as good as 27.
That's a
but-
pretty lame number though, just in general.
yeah,
I
if you're
agree.
tall,
love
it
it.
looks kind of sick.
Yeah, it does.
If you're short,
Justin's honestly revived it.
I don't think I have anyone wearing 31 on my Madden team.
wow.
No. If you guys want to earn your stripes, though, go to DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can put your knowledge to the test. And boys,
Randy
how's
Moss was 84.
yeah.
He
How's
I
how's
thought
the
he was 80
underdog?
even with the Pats?
Steve Watson, 81, Broncos legend. How has the underdog strategy been this week over at DraftKings on March Madness?
Great. Plus 13.75 units.
Man, you can't beat that.
No, you can't.
Over 4 straight days, winning each and every day.
Amazing.
You can't beat that. So if you want to get in, you guys are still doing it second round, right? Or second weekend.
Yes.
Yep. Still going on. There's still some big underdogs. So if you want to get in on March Madness, check out our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. And the best thing is you can do it with free money. Use that promo code DNVR when you sign up. Bet $5 on anything and you'll instantly get $200 in bonus bets. That's code DNVR over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Restrictions and eligibility restrictions apply. Minimum age as well. See show notes for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. And speaking of DraftKings Sportsbook, let's give out our DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week. You guys talked about it all last week. Just said it, how it was profitable doing the underdog strategy today. I'm going to go completely against that and tell me how much you hate my DraftKings pick of the week, because maybe I need to rethink this, but I love this. Alabama to make it to the Final Four. So win the next 2 games. Minus 125. There's not a ton of value there, but almost 1-to-1 odds, and they have to beat San Diego State this week, and then they play either Creighton or Princeton.
It's a lock. I think they're a lock to win it all.
Wow. So then if you like that,
Jeez.
then they're plus 350 right now to win it all.
Yeah, I like that bet. I'm just watching them versus the other teams. Like, they just have more quality, size, length.
Yeah.
They're better than everyone by like a pretty wide margin, in my opinion.
Well, I like hearing that, Ryan.
Houston obviously is similar to them in terms of quality, size, length, but they have a free throw shooting problem, and that you can't get through March without that coming back to bite you.
It's very true, and they lost their conference championship game, and then haven't really been that impressive to me with the eye test. So okay, there we go. I like it then. If the underdogs are allowing me to take this bet, then I love it.
Yep. I was looking through some of the NFL props. You actually can't parlay division winners this year, which you could definitely do last year.
Maybe you can when you get closer.
That could
sometimes they
definitely be.
have restrictions on that.
That could be. There's a couple that I was tempted by. The Pats to win the AFC East at plus 800. Everything's pointing towards them getting DeAndre Hopkins, though. All of a sudden, that jump starts. They have that running game. You have your one receiver. Like, that's kind of been the formula for them. Talking about Randy Moss reminded me, the defense is always going to be fine. Again, you worry about the Bills, but...
Not the Jets?
No.
I guess Aaron's not on the team yet.
No. Like, I like it. They're not that scary. The other one, though, since you bring that
You
up...
guys are sleeping.
The Packers plus 400, worst odds to win the NFC North. That's another one that's really tempting. Right now, the Lions are the favorite.
That's wild.
Yeah, I think those are the two that I was really looking at. Also... CU women plus 200 today.
You took mine. Why would you also? That was mine.
Well, that's one that people can actually bet right
Is that
now.
just to win one game?
Yeah, so I actually like the plus 7, just because I think this is going to be a really close game. CU women taking on Duke for a chance to go to the Sweet 16. Buffs should have been a 5 seed or higher.
Easily.
Got a 6 seed. Disrespect.
Pac-12 always.
Then... they made them dogs to the 11 seed,
Which is crazy.
in their opening round matchup,
Disrespect.
and they eviscerated them.
Good.
82-60 was the final score. It was never that close. So the Buffs have a little thing going for them.
Are they playing at home?
No.
Okay.
They're playing
They're
at Duke.
actually playing in Durham, which sucks.
Ugh.
Not ideal, but that's why it's plus 200. Another one, this is another crazy one, but the Broncos have, I think, the worst odds to draft Jackson Smith and Jigba, which is kind of crazy. But if they did trade Jerry Jeudy, they'd have a first-round pick right in that range. He'd probably be the target. $10 bet pays $760. It's kind of a wild one, but I don't know.
$760?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, those are wild odds.
But if they trade Jerry,
Sure,
I think that
sure.
all of a sudden they're probably number one on the list.
Wow. Okay, I like
So
the
if you
value
think they're
there.
going to trade Jerry.
I like
yeah.
the value there.
Yeah, which I don't. So I
Don't
didn't
trade
bet it.
Jerry.
I agree.
please.
We're going to talk about that more tomorrow. But first, let's get into a little draft. Wait, actually, first we have one more thing to tell you about.
Which we will do.
We definitely do, and it's
Foco!
something so good. There we go.
Yeah, it is so good. Little helmet, little bobblehead. Basically anything you want, they've got over at Foco. I always turn around and there's always the same things behind me.
Bobbleheads.
Bobbleheads.
Pennants.
Oh, yeah, they probably have a bunch of pennants. I never
much
looked that low.
T-shirts.
Oh, yeah,
Neon
T-shirts.
sign.
Yeah.
Wow, neon. They do have neon signs.
Probably something with Jokic's face.
Plants.
Bobblehead
Yeah.
for sure. I have the Foco Jokic bobblehead. So much good stuff that you can get. Colorado Company, you can get 10% off if you use the promo code DNVR at foco.com. There's a link in the description of the show, like in the podcast feed and on YouTube. Again, Colorado Company, all sorts of sports gear and collectibles and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you head on over there. Use the code DNVR for 10% off.
Really quick, we said Jokic's name too many times for me not to
God.
ask. Are you worried about MVP?
Oh, yeah. He's not going to win.
Well, there's a pretty good chance they're going to give Embiid the pity MVP. But I'll go back to what I've been saying the whole season. One seed, averaging a triple-double. How is someone going to look down at their MVP ballot and not give that guy the MVP?
Because I totally agree with you, but I'm trying to think, don't the 76ers now have the same record as the Nuggets?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And Embiid's averaging 35 points a game. That's probably how. And
I don't think
also,
it's quite that much.
He's not averaging 35?
33 and a half.
33 and a half. Okay. And just the human side comes in of they get bored voting for the same guy.
Yep.
But I'm just shocked. What was Jokic? He was minus 400 at one point?
Well, he got past that. Minus 450 at
I
least.
didn't realize he was plus 250 now.
Yeah.
Man, what a shame for a national narrative to change
Yeah.
his MVP odds.
And
Also,
the losing
we
streak.
have moved so far past points per game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss me with points per game.
That's fair. That's I agree with you about that. A triple-double on the 1 seed.
The thing is,
And all of the advanced metrics.
Yep.
it's always the PER that wins, though. Like, 11 of the last 12 or something, and Embiid, I think Jokic might have gotten back in front. Again, like, this is the one stat that's, like, not crazy nerdy. It's just, like, each field goal you make is worth this much, three-pointer you make is worth this much, the miss loses you this much, turnover loses you this much. It's super simple. It's predicted the winner. Like, right now, it's 31.74 for Embiid, 31.72 for Jokic.
So it's right there.
It's right
also,
there.
both the Basketball Reference MVP ladder and the NBA.com MVP ladder still have Jokic.
I think NBA.com switched this week.
Okay.
But
Yep.
you are saying Jokic should win it, but you don't think he will?
Oh, I could see them giving him the pity MVP.
Embiid.
Yeah.
Man,
The
I
other
hate
thing
it.
is, like, I think a lot of the odds are just momentum. Like, Jokic stock is, like, he's no longer averaging a triple-double, which hurts.
Oh, he's not?
No. He's down to 9.9 assists, which, again, you finish
That'll
strong.
get up.
He's doing other things, but that is one of the key pieces, and so he does need to pick it up, and the Nuggets do need to start winning games. So I do think momentum is playing a lot, whereas Embiid had
fair.
5 30-point games in a row.
In the end, it will be that the Nuggets won too many games too fast and took their foot off the gas, and that
Yep.
cost them the MVP. As long as they can put their foot back on the gas and go win something much more valuable,
Yep.
well, everyone will be fine.
Last night, a nice little, I don't want to say start, but a nice little, I guess, path down that road.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, let's do a draft. 5 rounds.
Also, the Nuggets are 5-5 in their last 10.
You say that? I think you're saying that in a good way?
I'm just saying it
Yeah.
feels like the wheels have completely come
right.
off.
Yeah.
Right. It does. It does feel like that. Yeah, clearly not as bad.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, let's do a draft. The remaining free agents here. And how do we want to phrase this? Do we just want to go with the best ones available or the best ones? I think we go best ones for Broncos.
Who would fix the Broncos the most?
Yep.
Most valuable to the Broncos.
Okay.
Obviously not factoring money in.
Okay, just player then.
Just player.
Okay. I like that. I like that. So just for the Broncos,
Oh,
who
that
would be
does-
the best?
What do we do for Lamar?
Well, no. We're just
No
going to
Lamar,
take
okay.
Lamar off because it's not realistic.
Realistic.
Yeah.
But is everyone else on the table?
Should be.
Okay.
Who
Okay.
wouldn't?
I don't know if you want to say Dalton Schultz since he's like $17 million.
I would leave him on the table.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like
Is he going to be that much since he's still out
that's
there
the
right
thing.
What's his franchise tag? Well, wait, no, he wasn't franchise tag.
No.
Oh, so he's just a
now?
full.
They tagged Tony Pollard.
I'm on
Yeah,
Spot Rack.
you're
They
right.
have him at 4 years, 15 per year. But again, that hasn't changed since a week ago when
Right,
people
right.
first decided not to sign him.
Okay, I guess we can leave him on there.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be a big advantage though. I don't think Broncos fans are clamoring for him
That's fair.
because we're going to put this out for a vote, of course.
Of
as we always
course.
do.
Let's do it.
How do we decide who goes first?
Wait, is it if you? Oh, this is a draft. So if you get them, they're gone.
Yeah.
Yep, they're gone. Yeah, we're doing it different than we've done it in
Yeah.
the past.
All right.
Change the order to I changed shit up.
Oh, you changed it? Okay.
So who's going
would-
one? Who's going one? You hear?
You, RK,
Oh.
Henry.
all right.
Wow. I'm going one, or maybe I get to choose who goes first.
I feel
Henry,
like the order
let's do
makes
reverse
more-
order.
Oh, okay, that works.
Yeah.
Yep.
You go first. Snake draft, baby.
Oh, who do I go get?
That's gonna be so okay. Whatever.
I
People aren't gonna understand that on the graphic. They're gonna get mad.
That Henry started.
it'll be fine.
Be like Zac left to right.
They'll be like, "How did this person go number 1 overall and this person went 3, even though it was the other way around?"
Yeah. It'll be fine.
If you want, I can go first.
I mean, we could throw a label at the end that says first pick. Even just like little red, like by we I mean Yahir.
Yeah, I'm just looking at you like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Man.
Flip our heads.
I can flip your heads real quick if that's what
Okay.
you want. So who's going first? Decide right now so I can flip it over.
We're letting the youngest go first.
Okay.
That's me. Okay.
And you can keep Ryan in the middle.
There we go.
Sounds good for me.
I'm taking Dalton Schultz.
Nice.
Like to me, I mean that's the best player that's still on the market. I think as excited as we all are to see Chris Manhertz as a Bronco, this is just a player who then becomes what? Depending on how things play out, he could be your number 2 receiving threat in that offense that really needs one. It's a sick tight end about to enter his prime. Dalton Schultz to me.
just doesn't make a lot of logical sense.
Really?
I
Really?
agree. Like, you're probably right about him being. Actually, you're not right about him being the best player available.
Wow.
He's good, but it just doesn't make sense.
I don't know how it works with Dulcich. Like, are you trading Dulcich now?
No. I mean, you have 2 tight ends. A lot of teams have 2 tight ends.
You have 3 tight ends. You just paid Chris Manhertz, what, 3.5 a year? No, 3 a year.
I don't think anybody's too upset if Manhurts spends a year on the bench. And again, like, you bring him in
you're right about
situationally.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
that's not somebody who you say, oh, no, what are we going to do? If you can go get Dalton Schultz, you do it.
Yeah, Isaiah says, I thought RK was the youngest. No, he's the second youngest because he just turned 29. Henry's
go.
still younger than 29, though.
Also, Daniel, don't blame me right now if you watch the Raptors.
What?
He does.
Oh, Yaya's down bad.
He is down bad.
I'm right there with you, Daniel.
What was it? 1 goal in 7 games?
No,
No, 1 point in 7 games. Oh, 4.
1 goal in 4 games so far this season.
Oh,
Their goal
jeez.
differential is -7.
Oh, could you imagine the Broncos in the first 4 games this year? I mean, we pretty much experienced it last year, but 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown in the first
can't
4
imagine
games.
that.
I can definitely imagine.
Fucking terrible.
Wow.
How crazy would you think I would be if last year I would have told you that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leeds United won an absolute thriller this weekend. It was amazing. Watch the highlights. Like, I watched the game and then watched the highlights like 4 times.
Oh, really quick, free agency news. Raiders are signing O.J. Howard, so he is off the board now. So
That's
he's
their
their Darren
Darren
Waller
Waller.
replacement.
Yeah. Again, like,
Massive downgrade.
Yeah,
Injured.
roll tide.
again, I just hate them on the
Not
side again.
anymore,
I
though.
don't think I think they've 1-for-1 replaced him.
Oh my God. Stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you think a 1-for-1 replacement plus they got a third?
Yeah, I do.
That's
Again,
Wow.
I hope that they're bad, but OJ Howard, I guess he only finally had a good year.
Did you see how like he didn't really say it with conviction? He's like, I hope they're bad. He's like, I hope they're bad. You know, there's
Yeah.
no conviction. They're just the
No, I
AFC
hope they
West
are.
lover.
He didn't put up big numbers.
Speaking of the AFC West, I swept the AFC West in Madden.
Oh, good job.
Have you lost a game yet?
Nope.
Yeah. 11-0.
Yep.
Yep.
It's
It's been a couple of years since you've won a title.
It has been.
Yeah.
This is
We'll
the
just keep reminding you.
Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah.
I need a chip on my shoulder like Kate Stearns. Ben Jones. Give me Ben Jones.
Ben Jones. Okay.
Hope it all works
Good.
out with him,
Yep.
obviously, with
Yep.
the health and the concussion stuff. But if he's playing and he's available, the Broncos, now you can really talk about potentially having the best offensive line in football.
Yep.
And, like, you also might be talking about Mike McGlinchey in a good way being the worst player on the offensive line.
Wow. That would be great because he's an above average lineman.
Yeah.
And if he's the worst, sign me
Yeah.
up for that. If your worst lineman's like the 12th best
Yeah, like
right tackle or
84
something.
overall.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Give me that. I like it, Ryan. But you guys let the number 1 guy fall to me at pick 3.
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby
Wow.
Wagner, baby. I did get worried though when you said fans aren't going to like this. Like they're just over it.
Last time we did this, you took Bobby Wagner in the free agency spending spree.
Yeah.
And like several people wrote like RK wins just because he didn't pick a linebacker.
Wow.
I know,
You know who
it's so
I'm not going to pick with my last pick to kill me? I'm not going to pick Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh,
because
don't do that.
that's
Oof.
definitely what killed me. Now, I get the next
You do.
pick here. Man, are we going with this team how it is right now? Or
Today.
with the opportunity to trade a receiver?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could trade him if you sign a guy. I imagine you're trading Josie if you.
Whatever the team is right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. I'm with you. And that's why I'm going. Oh, man. I'm going with Ngakoue. I'm going with Ngakoue.
Switched up on us.
Give me that 8 sacks per game or per year, or per game would be even better. It's spelled Ngakoue.
Hell of a spelling.
It is.
That
It is.
is.
Okay, Ryan, who you taking?
I also looked it up over here, so I was right.
Oh, okay, you got it.
Give me Frank Clark.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go that direction.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a good one.
Yeah, now I'm in a tough spot.
Yeah, you wish you didn't pick Dalton Schultz, do you?
Oh, no. I'm happy
yeah,
about
you probably
that.
would have had Dalton Schultz right here, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I would've taken-
Oh, my goodness. You guys are crazy.
You're bad at drafting.
That's not true. No, I'm good at drafting because I know they are adding more edge rushers So I get to hold off. I'm bad at drafting because I said that out loud, and so now they might just to spite me draft one just to prove me wrong, even though it doesn't help them. That changes things.
Such an ace in the hole right now.
I just wish.
So that means he's got an easy one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Clearly
he doesn't think so either.
Sure, dropped the DC freak after you drafted Giannis and Ngakoue.
The DC freak. Give me torn between two. Give me Bradley Roby.
Nice.
Well, you don't have to be torn. You can just pick again.
Well, but I don't need two corners.
Oh, Rock Ya-Sin the other one?
I'm not saying anything. I'm all right. Taking the worst one though, I guess.
Marcus
Damn, that might have been
Peters?
dumb. Let's see. We'll go with.
Yep.
My
Schultz
center
first overall is
pair.
insane coming in from Broncos.
Give me Connor McGovern.
Okay.
Schultz first overall is insane. I don't get how he's insane.
Don't let it get
But
to your
how
head, Henry.
not?
Don't let it get to your head. Don't let it get to your head. Stay strong.
I'm up, right?
You're up.
God, I'm torn between two, and they're both just so good. But it's too easy. Give me Calais Campbell.
No, that was gonna be my pick.
Yeah.
Oh man, I should have taken him over Ngakoue. Just because I wanted him so bad. That is a hell of a pick there.
That is.
Now, who's your other one? I want to know who you're deciding between.
I'm still gonna take him.
You're not gonna tell me? Okay. Huh. So the centers. Who are other centers? You both have a center.
Paradis.
I would like a center. Okay.
Justin Britt.
Rodney Hudson.
Oh man. I mean, I guess I'm going off Henry's logic. You guys aren't gonna take one.
Exactly.
So I guess I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna go. Oh man. OBJ.
Oh, that is a great pick.
Thank you.
Oh, my
Thank
goodness.
You. Thank you.
Oh, shit, I didn't think of that.
Have you guys seen? So reports came out that he wanted 15 to 20 million a year. Then he said, I don't know where these reports are coming from. I don't want, I'm not demanding 20, but I can't work for 4 million.
Exactly.
5. 1 year 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I wonder if the Broncos are in on him.
It's true. How's it gonna feed his family?
I don't know.
Didn't Gilbert Arenas have that quote? He was
don't
like,
remember.
he denied or he turned down an offer for like back in the day, like $20 million. He was like,
Wow.
he came out about it and said like, how am I gonna feed my kids with that money?
Oh my God, that is
What
the
are the-
most tone deaf.
Yes.
What are the odds that if you trade Jerry and you sign OBJ, that you get the better receiver this season?
A lot of people think that. I'm not as high on OBJ as
Okay.
others, but if he's my number 3, I could take. But I mean, sure.
OBJ,
Like it's 1 in 3.
he came into a perfect storm the last time he was playing, and I think it's going to benefit him greatly. Like he went into an offense that was absolutely humming, where he was the third option. Was it Cooper Kupp? There was one other good receiver.
Yeah.
He didn't put up
Who was
third
it?
option numbers though.
Who was the other guy that was there that they replaced
When they won
with
a
Allen
Super Bowl.
Robinson?
Yeah.
I mean, they.
Oh, Robert Woods, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think so. Yep. Because yep. Exactly.
And he was balling, and then
He was.
they just added OBJ, and like he was with Vaughn. They're like besties.
Yep.
I just don't know if OBJ is going to be that good.
The thing is,
I'll take Jerry.
that playoff run, just like per game basis, on pace for 12-27
Yeah, he was
receiving,
cooking.
8 touchdowns. He was on pace to be a Super Bowl MVP until he tore his ACL, and then Cooper Kupp took over.
I mean, the thing is, he hasn't played football in a year.
But that's what
and
happens.
he's
with-
older.
That's
Over
the
a
thing about
year now.
torn ACL.
Yeah.
He's only like, what, he's 30, 31? Like he should have a
Yeah.
couple good years left in the tank.
All right, who's your next pick?
Oh yeah, it's me again. I'm gonna go now with who's the best player on the board. Oh man, let's get a little spicy here. Let's go Zeke.
I was hoping you were going to
You're
drop
just
it.
taking all the biggest names.
I was.
One thinking that Zeke Naji.
Nobody cares about Zeke Naji.
Yeah,
I don't even think Zeke Naji cares about him.
I think people will know who I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason here, there is a little truth here. if Ezekiel Elliott is still on the market I'm not signing him today for a big contract, but if he's there, and that's why he's my 4th, if he's there still in a week, you pair him with Samaje. Samaje's grade goes up to an A in my book, and I just like what you could have with Zeke and Samaje for this year.
Yep.
For this year until Javante's healthy. So if you're getting a prove-it deal for Zeke, I'm truly signing up for that.
And they fit well together. I think that's what you meant. I mean, first 2 downs you give it to Zeke, 3rd down Samaje. Like it does line up. And I was really considering him.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad because I think Ryan was laughing at me.
You guys left the person that I was between on the board. I'm definitely.
That was just a shot straight at me. Henry hasn't drafted yet.
I'm definitely
guys.
having a great rotation on the defensive line, maybe too much rotation.
Oh, jeez.
But give me Shelby Harris.
Yeah.
Okay.
A good one. I was hoping he fell to the 5th, but nope. It's really good.
Yeah, I want the baddies.
The baddies. All right, Henry, finish us off.
Wow. I mean, I'm torn between 2 here. Well, let's get this one out of the way. Give me Kareem Hunt. I was torn between him and Zeke. I think I would have gone Zeke.
That one's really gonna hurt you in the
I know.
in the vote.
Yep, I
He's gonna learn some
recognize
tough lessons.
this has not gone my way today. Like, what was I think? Roby over Rock Yassin. That's just a better corner. And I was thinking, he fits well. Like, he can compete with Damar. No, you go get Rock Yassin.
Well, then take him here.
Yeah, the best player out there.
Yeah, here's trolling you left and right.
The man is averaging 750 receiving yards as a tight end over the last 2 years. Like those are freak numbers. There's a good chance he goes to the Pro Bowl if he comes to Denver.
Also, you're gonna have to specify Ben Jones so people don't think it's Byron Jones.
That is true.
Didn't he just get signed though?
No
I
way.
don't think so.
No,
Because he was saying like, you gotta go get your money. Like, I can't even run right now because my foot doesn't like. I don't even. He sounds really messed up.
Oh, jeez.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Like injury-wise.
Like he's probably done.
Oh, jeez.
It's very sad. Otherwise, I probably would have taken him. Definitely over Bradley Roby. Damn it, that was dumb. Let's see. You know what? Give me Jadeveon Clowney.
Nice.
Give me Clowney. He's
that's a
sick.
good player.
Again, it's a little bit risky. He's the bigger name. Like
He was on my list.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Your best pick was your last one.
I don't understand the Dalton Schultz hate. Like, what is going on? The thing is, he's better at blocking, too. Like, he's a blocking tight end who also gives you 700 receiving yards.
Wow, Jared says RK has some ball slapping units on his squad.
Yes.
Sounds like
Imagine that. We added
Yeah.
Calais into the baddies.
Oh,
That is
6'8".
man. Oh, he'd definitely be there.
Yep.
Yeah. Ryan,
Oh,
what are you
man.
rounding it out with?
There's a lot of players out there. I have some players who I have, like, favorable takes on that other people don't like, so I'm not going to mess up what I've done here.
I look so dumb.
Wow. You're going to need that in order to beat me, so you might as well just do that.
No, I don't.
No?
Ooh.
I certainly didn't
Kind of
do that.
redundant. Give me... Wow, this is hard. I guess
Melvin Gordon?
I'll take Rock Yassin.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to round it off with...
Melvin Gordon.
Thank you for picking that up. I'm going to go with not him. I'm going to go with Rodney Hudson. Get me a center. You guys got
so
yourself
good.
centers. I'm going to get myself a center as well. He might be retired, but I'll still try.
Now that we're done, I like Eli Apple.
Whoa.
Wow.
Jeez.
I-
That
No
would have
one
been
else
your
does.
that would have been your name?
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
yep.
like if I put him on there, I get killed.
That's
You would have.
He's better. Like I think he's better than any of the corners that we drafted.
no way.
When you say we, you mean specifically Henry.
Yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
didn't take one.
Yeah.
But I also like I
Tough,
think he
Henry.
might be a little better than Rock Yassin. The other one was that I have a favorable opinion of that I think people hate is Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, no, he's fine.
But he's a seam stretcher and then he gets open a lot and then doesn't catch it, which is a problem.
Kind of an issue. Yeah.
But then sometimes he does.
You could do jet sweeps.
Ooh, I love jet
Yeah, yes, you do.
sweeps.
No,
Could.
just poorly. Hey, we have
Dalton
had
Schultz
a
is
tight
sick.
end kind of jet sweep
Yeah, it was
in the bag.
a tight end around.
Yeah,
I
it
would call
was.
Yeah.
Tight end around.
Wow.
Should we talk to some people? And also in the comment section right now, before we put this on Twitter, let us know who won.
It's everyone already told us it's me.
It's me. No, I mean I see numbies in there. Yeah. Wow. I didn't say him.
Wow. That's harsh.
Wait, are you looking up grades on Eli Apple? Right
Yeah,
now?
I was just curious. 99.6 pass rating last year. It was the best since 2018.
Wait, 99.6?
One
Oh,
target.
allowed a 90.
That's
Yeah,
what I
went
thought too. I
target.
was like, his PFF grade is a 99.6.
I thought you were giving me his PFF grade against the pass. I was about to be like,
Gave
what?
up 4 touchdowns. Gave up 750 yards. I mean, he's a
Thanks.
corner. He's
But I
somebody to
think-
throw out there.
Was he their number one?
Because they
felt
lost
like he
William
was-
Jackson.
I felt like he was constantly matching up with like top. William Jackson is available, by the way.
Yeah.
I felt like he was constantly matching
Oh,
up against
I
top
lied.
players because he was like trash talking with them on
Exactly.
Twitter, and like he definitely got beat by those guys. I'm just curious if you took all the pressure off him and he only had to guard second options.
It
fair.
seems like he was one of those guys who half the time got torched and half the time was good. And because of that, people saw either him getting torched or was good.
Right.
Yep.
He got torched too much, probably.
Actually, after seeing a few comments roll in, don't tell us who you think won the draft. We don't.
okay.
No, we don't. Unnecessary. Actually. No. No. Unnecessary.
Wow.
Speaking of the comments, should we talk to the people?
Let's talk to the people.
We got a super chat coming in from our friend Jared. He says, off to KC tomorrow. I'll be repping DNVR and Broncos gear.
Fire. Go to Jack Stack. Everything there is good, but their baked beans are life changing.
Stop it. Stop it. I need baked beans today.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get myself
Wow.
a can.
Give myself a can of baked beans. You just go straight store bought.
Yeah, well,
I mean, those are amazing too.
they really are. They're so good.
Yes.
I can't believe we had a can of Bush's beans just sitting in our set on Super Bowl week. Yeah.
They were
That was a
Hendon
weird
Hooker
thing.
beans.
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker beans. Wow.
Why did he leave his beans with us?
He was giving everyone a can of Hendon Hooker beans.
He gave Bama a can of Hendon Hooker beans.
Oh,
that's
boy.
for sure.
Yes, he did.
Okay, let's. We got 2 comments on the website. First one from Denver Rival. It says, "Hey guys, hope you all are doing well, and I'm grateful for DNVR helping us raise over $1,000 for the Alzheimer's Association. Here's an
Let's
idea.
go.
Yeah, that's so cool." He says, "Here's an idea I have for a proposed trade to secure some solid capital and an additional wideout if we end up trading Judy or Sutton. We send Sutton, Judy, and our 5th round pick to the
God.
Texans in exchange." Okay, this clearly came in about 48 hours ago before Brandon Cooks'
Cooks.
trade. So here's the trade. Judy, Sutton, and a 5th, it's a ton, to the Texans in exchange for 1st round pick, their number 12 in the draft this year, 2023, a 2nd round pick, which is the 2nd pick in the second round, Brandon Cooks, and their 4th round pick in the 2024 draft. I'd prefer they keep Judy and Sutton for wideout chemistry with Russ, and I believe both of them are great receiving types for Sean Payton's offense. If we end up not getting CJ GJ from the Eagles, who do you think would be a good option in free agency or the draft to back up Stearns? If you could bet on the first game of this season, who do you think the Broncos will play? I think we might face a division rival on the road to start, like Vegas or the Chargers. Then the following week we'll play at home against either the Vikings or Packers. Either way, go DNVR and support rivals. Alzheimer's to end Alzheimer's in Denver. And man, Denver, you knew what news was coming this weekend.
Yeah.
You hit it both.
Wait, so he wanted Judy and Sutton
And a 5th.
and a 5th for a 1st and 2 seconds.
For a 1st,
And Brandon
1
Cooks?
second, which is the 2nd pick in the 2nd.
Okay.
And Brandon Cooks, and a 4th.
Yeah, no, that's impossible.
I would have
So-
done that deal in a
Yeah, I
heartbeat,
would've
though.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You would have to do that.
Yeah.
You're getting number 12 overall, so you probably get top 2 receiver on the board.
Yep. Yeah.
Right around there. Yeah.
Think so.
Probably.
Um,
Again, Smith and Jigba. That's
You're getting an upgrade for this year with Brandon Cooks, aren't you? At one of the 2 receiver spots?
I don't know.
He's a 6,000-yard receiver.
Yeah, he's
Well,
he's
in his
good.
career, you probably are.
Just for short term.
I would just call
Yeah.
it a replacement.
Okay. So a replacement should be an upgrade with that 1st round pick. And then a 2nd round pick, too.
Yeah, I mean, you basically just replenished all of your draft capital. You got
Sure.
one of the 2 wide receivers back, so you still have two good players. You're going to draft one high, or you could go a different direction. Like, yeah, that's easy money.
Yeah.
Probably.
Not going to happen, though. Brandon Cooks is off to the Cowboys.
That's right.
Yep.
He's played on so many teams.
It is crazy. It is crazy. I mean,
being productive, too.
Yep.
2017 traded with a 4th for a 1st and 3rd. 2018 traded with a 4th for a 1st and 6th. 2020 traded with a 4th for a 2nd. A lot of 4ths going with him.
Where
and
was
this
he
time
drafted?
for 5th and 6th. He was New Orleans, number 20.
Number 20. So he's technically been worth 3 first-round picks.
Crazy.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's very.
That's a lot of trades.
And a second.
That is
That is
pretty
impressive.
crazy.
And last comment from Arvada Luke says, "Hello, friends. Is there any way we can trade for Eckler in a reasonable way? What else can we do to further beef up this offense?"
Chargers aren't trading us Eckler.
Some, and I just honestly don't remember, some sports book put out the Broncos have the 3rd best odds to get Austin Eckler. It was like plus 500, and that included the Chargers.
Such a perfect fit.
Oh my gosh. You kidding me?
Except that you have Pirine.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, is then they're overlapping.
You'll just make Piron your 7th offensive lineman.
I mean,
Two
Eckler
fullback
could probably
system?
do it too.
I just mean, like, you have Manhurts out there and
Oh my gosh.
for some max protect
Wow.
deep shots.
Yeah, I'm down. I would so be down for Austin Eckler.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But it is just a weird thing where it's like, okay, so Pirine, you're just putting him in a role he's never played before. Or Eckler, you're kind of doing that. That's the other thing, is like Jerick McKinnon is still out there. He would be sick because he's one of those shifty little backs. He's fast. You just throw him the ball, and he winds up getting a bunch of yards. Pirine's your 3rd down guy, though. So
He was such a cheat code for the Chiefs because everyone sinks back.
exactly.
And they're like 7 yards away from him and just throw it to him in the flat. He makes one guy miss, first down.
Well,
And
that's
tha-
why
and
I'm
that's-
surprised they haven't just brought him back.
Yeah, me too.
And that's why he probably wants a lot of money. Because didn't he have like 8 straight games with a touchdown last year?
Jeez.
Yeah.
It was something crazy. So he probably thinks he's worth a ton.
Probably. And he
Probably
is
had
wrong.
double-digit touchdowns.
Why do you think Cooks gets traded so much? I think that he's just like his value on the market has slightly outweighed his value on a team
Yeah.
in their eyes, and so they just
Yeah.
keep being like, sure, yeah, we'll take that.
Especially when you get money involved
Yeah.
in terms of like, well, we can get a first and dump some salary and not have to pay you. Yeah, we'll do that.
And, like, he's a consistent 1,000-yard receiver who also just doesn't feel like he's that good.
Right.
Like, when you compare him to, like, who else is a 1,000-yard receiver, you look around, it's like, oh, I'd take every single one of those guys over Brandon
If
Cooks.
the Broncos were playing the Cowboys this week, actually, they're not a good example because now they have Brandon Cooks and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
But if they were playing, like, when they're playing the Texans, you're not thinking, like, man, how do we stop Brandon Cooks?
How do we not
No.
get cooked?
That is the other like, he has usually been the number 2. Because, he's in New Orleans, 1,000. Or no, 1,000. Sorry. Then he gets traded.
Was that
to the
with
Pats
Michael
for
Thomas,
1,000.
though?
Exactly.
So he was the 2.
And then 2017 with New England. I'm not sure who.
He probably was the one.
Yeah, but they might have had freaking Amendola or
Gronk?
I guess Gronk
Yeah,
is
so
there.
he was their number 2 weapon.
So there's always something. Then he
Yeah.
goes to the Rams,
By the way,
2018.
the Cowboys trying to trade, they wanted to trade a second for Jerry Jeudy. Could you imagine Jerry and CD on the same team?
That would be so nasty.
Yeah, the routes would be dirty.
Yes. And I mean, Michael Gallup, is he still there? Is he a free agent?
He is, yep.
Dude.
I'm a little surprised that Jerry didn't get just like so excited about that. He was just like 1st-round pick.
Oh, Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Exact-
Sorry,
yeah.
Jerry Jones. Yes.
Yeah.
I am too. I'm surprised
Yeah.
and glad.
So, are we giving round of applause to Jerry Jones too for
Wow.
for containing himself?
Yes, because now we get to keep Jerry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. But man, a lot of round of applauses for Jerry's today.
Yep.
Jerry. And look, it's 1 p.m. That's probably right around time for Jerry.
That is. It's also time
Yeah.
for us to probably wrap up this podcast.
Are not the father.
Oh, wow.
Anything else?
definitely.
That's it. We got it.
All right. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Fun stuff. We'll be back tomorrow. Vote for me in the poll.